everybody.
Good morning.
Sing the Lord in the sea, wonderful words of life. Sing the Lord through the sea, wonderful words of life. Words of life and beauty, teach you faith and duty. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. Words of promise for all mankind, wonderful words of life. Bring you comfort and peace of mind, wonderful words of life. Promises to carry, words of treasure dearly. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words of life. Words of wisdom enrich my soul, wonderful words of life. Never strengthen and make me whole, wonderful words of life. Hands of wisdom threading, thirst for truth fulfilling. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. Big finish now. All right. I now invite you all to stand and join in our opening hymn. I'm going to find it here. Oh, there it is. Woohoo! It's called Magic Pen. Here we go. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. Life is like a magic pen, hold it tight and you won't have any. Let me spend it and have so many, roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. I need to work on a little more ragtime with that.
The other one, no, this one isn't.
Hey, what is mine?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear?
Nope.
Ooh, okay, I'm good.
I don't know about that. Go. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Reverend Mary Dunn, and it is my honor to be here with you this morning. So, whether you are here with us or watching us via live stream, we want you to know that we are sending you our love. That we know that our Unity family is truly precious. And I'm looking out and I see all the faces. Are there any first-time visitors? I didn't think so. I've seen every face before. So let me go into the announcements. Our prayer chaplain today is Joyce Miller. She will be happy to pray with you after service in this corner right over here. And our board member today is Valerie Griffin. So if you have any questions about the church or about the board, she will be happy to answer those for you. So, can I please get you to join me in saying our opening statement? Together?
Our mission statement?
Yes, our mission statement. Sorry about that. Yes, our mission statement. Together? Our mission is to provide a prosperous and loving community by connecting to God through prayer and following the teachings of Christ. Let's say that one more time, please. Our mission is to provide a prosperous and loving community by connecting connecting to God through prayer and following the teachings of Christ.
Greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. Greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. Greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. Greatest thing in all my life is loving you. Greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. Greatest thing in all my life is loving you. Greatest thing in all my life is serving you. Greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. Greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
Thank you, James. Please join me now in saying our opening statement. Together, I am one with divine wisdom. I see my way clearly. Let's say that one more time, please. I am one with divine wisdom. I see my way clearly. And let us pray. And we say, Father, Mother, God, living, loving presence. We are grateful for all of our blessings. Grateful for our community and our family here. And grateful that we know that there's nothing stronger than the Christ presence within. We send our love and our prayers out to the community, out to the world, as they deal with the new onslaught of crisis, of a new COVID variant. And we say, Father, let it be done. Let it be gone. And we know this too shall pass. And we say, in the name and through the power of the living Christ, so it is. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.
Thank you, James. Today's daily word is wisdom. My God-inspired thoughts, decisions, and actions are wise. Today, I mindfully and intentionally use my gift of divine wisdom to help create a better, kinder world. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore wrote, "God is wisdom. We claim oneness with divine wisdom, and it expresses through us as wise thoughts and decisions and actions. I let my inner wisdom guide me. I focus my thoughts on positive ideas. I choose my words with care, seeking to bless and brighten those who hear or read them. I act with kindness and consideration in every encounter with my friends, neighbors, and even those I don't know. God's wisdom is mine to share. I accept that truth as a sacred responsibility to uplift and heal the world through my wise words and actions. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceful, gentle and willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits." James 3:17.
This song is especially true right now. Sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad. Okay, speaking of sad, we gotta pick this up a little bit. Here we go. Sing a song, sing out loud, yeah, go ahead. Sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. Okay, come on. We know the words. It's long. Repeat it over and over again. La, la, la. Okay, yeah, it's your turn. Here we go. Yeah! Come on, let's do it again. La, 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 la. One more time, just do the whole thing. Sing a song. Sing out loud. Sing out strong. Sing of good
back up here. Good. It's good to be with you and you at home. Hello. All right. So, have you ever promised yourself something and then not followed through on that promise? I hear a lot of moans and groans and rumblings. Oh, yeah. I promise this coming Christmas, or this coming Easter, or this summer vacation, or this whatever it is, I'm going to ... fill in the blank. And does it happen? Sometimes, but more often than not, we seem to put those things off. Why? Why do we put those things off? Do we just get busy? Do we decide that we don't really need to do that? We feel we're not good enough for it. We feel we don't deserve it. I don't know, I suppose maybe it's a little of everything. But I wanted to talk to you today about making yourself a promise. Since this month is wisdom, this is a big part of gaining wisdom. And I noticed that as we start to get older, and I'm starting to get into, I'm starting to get well past middle age now, and I'm starting to see, shh, Mary, quiet. And I'm kind of starting to get into that, well, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it, kind of a mindset. And so I've decided to do things. And so one of those things, I got a whole bunch of these I want to share with you today. We'll touch on just a little bit on each one. Is one that is promise yourself to be so strong internally, your heart, your soul, your mind, that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Not even Mary coming up to me and going, I tease because I love Mary.
I love you back.
Because you know, if you allow your peace of mind to be disturbed, nothing can make you happy. If you're angry, if you're upset, you're anxiety-ridden, grief, sadness, sometimes those things can't be helped, but you need to move past them as quickly as possible, move through them. When we have all those kind of negative emotions, you will never be happy. Never happy with anything. Meet these people and go, what do you want? Are you happy? Of course I'm happy. Don't I look happy? You want to rise above all this. Promise yourself to rise. It's not easy. I struggle with it all the time too. But when we rise above it, when we start to rise above it, we can start to realize and see what's most important. It's like clearing away the gunk. You start to see all the things that make life work again. You can flip the switches and turn the handles and flip the knobs, and everything starts to work again. Promise yourself to be strong, no matter what. That's something we all need to learn. Certainly something I need to learn. This is why I like giving these kinds of lessons, these kinds of sermons, because I need to learn this just as much, if not more, than everybody else. And you know what they say? In order to learn something, what do? Teach it. Exactly. Okay. Always, here's another one. Promise yourself to always talk health, happiness, and prosperity. Not only to yourself, but every person you meet. I know that's hard too. Always try to send other people positive thoughts. Even if you don't say it directly to them. That's nice if you can. But if you can't, always at least emotionally, mentally, cognitively, send them positive thoughts. One of the best ways to do you avoid, then what you do is you avoid speaking badly, speaking ill of other people. And you wish them the best, and that results in your being the best. A few years back, I did a talk called How Full Is Your Bucket? And I know a few of you were there. But it's actually based on a book. There was a kid's book that came out after it, but it was based on a self-help book by a gentleman, I can't remember his name, Dr. Somebody. I know, I have to look up his name. I should have done it before him, but this was kind of an off-the-cuff thing that came to mind. And he said, we all have this invisible bucket on top of our heads. And then every time we fill somebody else's bucket, We fill our own. It's kind of like carrying a pitcher around with you and filling everybody's glass with water. You have to constantly go back and have your own filled up. Think of the server at the restaurant. If they have a big pitcher of water and it's getting low, they got to go back and fill up. Otherwise, if they have an empty pitcher, you're not getting any water either. It's a natural law. You have to be able to feel good about yourself. You have to be able to love yourself before you can love somebody else. If you hate yourself, if you're always angry and critical at yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything for anybody. Now, it's been quite a while. Another analogy, I look at these little analogy things, especially with my students at school, is how many people here have anybody flown recently in the last few years? No? A few people. You know what they always say in the very beginning, the safety seminar that they do beforehand? What happens if the cabin pressure drops? Well, oxygen drops from the mask. Who do they tell you to put the mask on first? Yourself. Why? Because you can't help anybody if you're passed out. You got to put it on yourself first. Then put it on the elderly person, the child, or somebody else that you're with who can't do it themselves. You have to do it yourself first before you can help anybody else. Promise yourself to make all your friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them. But I'd like to go one step further. This says all your friends. I'd say anybody you meet. Even if you don't have a big conversation with them. A nice thing to do is just send them a smile. When you're waiting in line at the Macy's, the McDonald's, wherever it is you go, whether it's the drive-thru or you're standing in the building, you walk up to the clerk, give him a quick smile. You'd be surprised at how far that smile goes. You may not see it, but you'll feel it. Be a kind of friend who makes your friends believe, and others, that they are good, strong, and worthy. Can you imagine if we all did this? Every single person, helping another person, another 2, 3, 5, 10 people, realize that they are worthy. They are a loved child of God. That they can make a positive, wonderful, peaceful, loving difference in the world. If we all felt like that, what an exponential difference we would make in the world. But too often we have this thing, and I've talked about this before, but I don't often kind of go, into the deep traditional territory, but we're familiar with what coveting means, covetousness. It basically results in envy is what it is. A lot of people mix the two up, jealousy and envy. Envy is when you wish you had something that somebody else had. That's the basis of envy, but sometimes it goes a lot farther than that. It goes, because you have something I don't, I hate you for it. And even if those words don't come out of the person's mouth, it's when somebody throws an egg at a Mercedes-Benz because they only have a Toyota. They break the window of a mansion because they only have a trailer. We see that a lot. We're seeing a lot of that now, unfortunately. Always build somebody up. Because you know what happens? Just like that bucket on your head. When you build somebody else up, you get taller yourself. You get bigger. You get stronger. You get more godly. You get more loving. You get more kind. You get strengthened emotionally, spiritually, even physically. It only hurts us when we treat others unkindly. When we dip from somebody else's bucket, we lose some ourselves. Promise yourself to look at the sunny side of everything and make optimism come true. Don't we all love to sit around and commiserate? Compare battle scars, physical or emotional? I've done that a lot. Well, this person hurt me. Boy, have I got a story for you. So-and-so did this to me. Here, let me show you my scar. People do this. The bigger the better, the more dramatic. Stop it! The way we are optimistic, and we talk about this, we'll probably talk about this again in November, is gratitude. Gratitude leads directly to happiness. When we are grateful for what we have, who we are, who we have in our lives, if we have that gratitude, that immediately makes us more happy. By appreciating the things that we have. I see this a lot. There's a meme going around Facebook, and it has been for several years now, is there is always, I think it's like 6 always, 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 always something to be grateful for. Always. Even if you feel down in the doldrums. And sometimes I feel really down in the doldrums, especially over this last year and a half. You know, I mean, you turn on the news, it's like, good morning, COVID, 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 COVID. That's our newscast. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. And I go up to work going, right? How much more can we take? It's like being beaten to death with a COVID stick. Now, I'm not saying it's not a serious situation, but for pity's sake, let's shine a let's find out that that light at the end of the tunnel is not a train. No. Because this way, when we see the positive side of things, we're willing to try something new. We're willing to go out on a limb and take a chance, not only on ourselves, but somebody else. What kind of things can we do? Who can I help today? Sometimes it's fun when we do this, we can help others without worrying about ourselves. One of the things I like to do, I can't always do it, but sometimes I really like to, if I see somebody who really seems to be in need, I like to purchase it. Like if I go into the QT, or if I go into a Circle K or a supermarket or anything else, every once in a while, I can afford to go in and buy a lunch, a water, a soda, a chip, something for somebody who's sitting outside. Somebody who has been chased away multiple times by the store staff. And what I like to do is I like to put it on the table, and then I like to point the direction to it. And I said, excuse me, sir, I think somebody left something on the table for you. I don't tell them it's me. I think that's so much fun. That's just like stupid fun. I put that in there. I don't tell anybody. I don't tell them. I don't tell anybody. I don't tell the staff. It's just a big old secret. And I get in my car and I giggle and I drive away. I think that's the most fun thing in the world. Gratitude. Be grateful yourself, help others be grateful. Promise yourself to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. We talk about this in Unity all the time. Right? Don't go, tomorrow's going to stink. Tuesday's going to stink. Wednesday, I'm going to write that off right now. No, don't do that. You know, that lukewarm feeling that you have is really tempting, but it's not going to get you any good results. You always need to put your best foot forward in your pursuits, in your efforts. When you love what you do, you're going to be good at it. You can't help but be good at it. Whether that's sweeping the floors or being a doctor, nurse practitioner, a plumber, an electrician, a teacher, anything. If you love what you do, you're going to be good at it because you're going to throw yourself heart and soul into it. A lot of people say, go after the job that makes you as much money as possible. No, don't do that. Maybe for the first year or two, you'll be happy because you've got gobs of money coming in. But that's where you really start to learn. Money really, truly is not everything. It's not. You know, I mean, if you don't know where the next meal is coming from and your lights have been turned off and you think you're going to be kicked out of your house, yeah, more money is going to make you happy. I saw this study one time on television about 10 years ago or so, and they said that Money will make you happy up to about a certain point. And at that time, that certain point was roughly about $75,000 per year. Once you get past that threshold, it's pretty much all gravy at that point. Because at that point, at least at that time, it may be a little higher, maybe 80, 85,000 now because of inflation, but you get past that inflation point where you're making a certain amount of money every year, and making money becomes boring. It really does. Unless you do something with it. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the people who are the wealthiest, who don't really, they just work and they have lots and lots of money, have you noticed that they're some of the most miserable people on the planet? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't make money. But if you notice, a lot of these people, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these people who are doing great things, there was somebody else, he was about, 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was a guy who was a multi-billionaire who made it in the finance industry. He had enough money to last 10 lifetimes. But what he did was, instead of continuing to work, he resigned, retired, completely quit his job. He went over to Africa and he built wells. I mean, find something that you're absolutely passionate about. The money goes there. When you have all your needs met, that's a wonderful thing. Promise yourself to be just as enthusiastic. Sometimes this is hard, for me especially. Just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. Sometimes it's hard, if you're struggling, to watch somebody beside you get that great new job, win the lottery, buy that Rolls Royce, buy that house in the hill, whatever it is. It's hard. We've all been there at one time or another. Gee, I wish. That goes back to that envy thing, that covetousness. Be inspired, not envious. If that person did it, by golly, so can I. I'm going to get myself off this sofa, put away the chips and the hot dogs and the soda, and I'm going to go out and do something about it. It's detrimental to us when we are not happy for others. Promise yourself to be genuinely happy for other people. Again, there we go. There's that thing again. The bucket on your head, the bucket on their head. The more you fill theirs, the more yours will be filled. And it takes time. If we haven't been doing it on a regular basis, it takes time to do. It's a practice. It's a skill like anything else. Promise yourself to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements in the future. If you continue to look back on what you failed at or what you did wrong, you're not going anywhere. You're spinning your wheels in the mud. Or the snow, if you're in Flagstaff. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there. You stagnate. You stop moving. You have no more self-improvement. We use the past as lessons. That's it. Don't live there. I've done that before. Pack my bag. Don't do that. I've done it plenty of times. Let go of those disappointments. Use it as a lesson, as a stepping stone to move forward. Promise yourself to wear a cheerful expression at all times. And give a smile to every living creature you meet. Hello, kitty. Hi, chrysanthemum. I know people who actually talk to their plants. I think it's wonderful. Do you know how peaceful it is to go up and say, hello, tulip, how are you this morning? It's a wonderful day, isn't it? Right? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried actually talking to plants? It's fun. Talk to the hummingbirds, talk to the flies, talk to the bees. Don't get too close, but talk to the bees. Talk to them. It's amazing how incredible, it's amazing how amazing it is. When you talk to things, talk to people, talk to your pets. When I was upset, I had a little dog named China. She passed away a couple of years ago. But she was a border collie. Oh my goodness, was she a good listener. I said, you know, this has been a really bad day. And she'd go, I hear you, brother. I know what you mean. And I'd just call her name and I'd go, China. She'd be asleep. And her tail would go. That's all. It was so peaceful. I talked to my cat. She ignores me. But that's okay. But then, when I'm grading papers or something, I have my computer out on the table. That's when she wants to cuddle. Sometimes I've let my cat grade my papers. She lays down, everybody's got a grade. Hey, my work is done. Oh. Promise yourself to give so much time to improving yourself that you don't have any time to criticize anybody else. Instead of using your time to criticize people, use your time wisely to improve yourself. Cut down on that meaningless participation of conversations aimed to tear other people down. One of the worst is gossip. Did you hear about what Martha did? Oh my goodness! She did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, Y, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Did you hear about Greg? No. What? It does nothing. It's another one of those spinning wheel things. It gets you nowhere. What will it do? Nothing. When you tear other people down, it doesn't say anything about that person. It says everything about you. I've told a lot of people this. I tell that to my students, my 7th and 8th graders, who are, 7th and 8th graders are expert at tearing other people down. You know, they do this. And I sit them down and I say, you know what? And I had one student say, well, he's a jerk. And I said, I don't know, I can't speak to that. I said, but the only one who's acting like one right now is you. Because you're saying these things about somebody else. You are displaying it. The other person comes out smelling like a rose. It's like if somebody just gets in a fist fight and somebody punches you in the eye, well, you're the one with the black eye, not them. You're the one, the injured party. You're the one getting all the sympathy. The sympathy, not the other guy. But the other guy is the aggressor, whether it's verbal or physical or whatever it is. Don't waste your time. We only get one go-round here on earth. And I don't mean metaphysically or spiritually, I mean physically. We only get one physical opportunity in this body, in this life, at this time on earth. Let's not waste it. Promise yourself to be too large for worry. Boy, that's a tough one. I like to worry. It's like a hobby. Too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. Having a negative emotion will in a normal human experience, is normal. It's normal to have anger once in a while, or some kind of negative emotions. But holding on to that negative emotion is not good for your mental health. If you have those things lingering about, they sap your happiness, they sap your productivity, they sap your life. There isn't any time for anything else. Anger, certain amounts of anger expressed in a certain way is okay. Channel it. Put it to good use. I got angry one time at a teacher when I was in middle school. I was so angry. I wanted to punch and kick and spit, and I wanted to make up new cuss words. I was so mad. But you know what my mom did? She gave me a hammer and a saw. This all turns out good, I promise. And I built a tree house. And at the end, I was too proud of my achievements and too tired from the work to feel angry anymore. And I had a place to go hang out. I built a ladder. I was 8 feet off the ground. Even my dog learned to climb the ladder. And we hung out. Fear. Be strong in the face of fear. Even if it's real. I know what we talk about in unity. Fear. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. And that is true. Sometimes. Not always. Sometimes the fear is real. But even if it is, stand up to it. There's a great song that I sing sometimes. It's called Be Not Afraid. It comes right out of the book of Isaiah. Be not afraid, for I am with you always. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful passage. Know that God is always beside you, inside you, right by your side. Charles Fillmore once said, like a best friend at your right arm. You want to talk to somebody? Talk to God. Don't fear failure. When we fear failure, again, we stagnate. We got nothing going on. One of my favorite authors is a business marketing author named Seth Godin. Absolutely love his work. And he wrote a book called Poke the Box. Poke the Box is a short little book. It's about 85, 90 pages. And it's all about try it. See what happens. The worst is nothing. You're a movie fan, you want to work with Steven Spielberg? Call him up! The worst they can say is, he doesn't take phone calls. You know how I know that? I actually did it once. I was 14 years old, and I was just naive and bold enough to literally call Steven Spielberg's production office in Hollywood. And I said, may I speak with Mr. Spielberg, please? Because I got a great movie idea. And the receptionist laughed and laughed, and she says, you don't understand how things work, do you? And I said, what do you mean? She says, Mr. Spielberg doesn't take phone calls. I said, well, he must not get much done then. And I said, why not? I said, I'm a human being. He's a human being. Sounds like we have a lot in common. I know, I said this at 14 years old. I never did speak with Steven Spielberg, but hey, I learned a lot. And then finally, worry. Worry is probably the most useless thing we do. I always try to say to myself, if I'm worrying, I'm getting nothing done. And it's true. You have nothing to talk about. You have nothing to do. Worrying gets nothing done. It's that spinning in the mud again. It's one of those things, it's kind of like, I think it's the Alcoholics Anonymous promise. Let me have if anybody is familiar with it, I've ever read it, it's something about, let me have something of the bravery to change the things I can, the wisdom,
the Serenity Prayer.
Oh, that's it, yes, thank you, the Serenity Prayer. Right. Yes. And it's basically the courage to change things I can, to accept the things I can't, and wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, same idea. If you are worried about, don't worry about something that you can't change. Leave it alone. If you can change it, get the let out and do it. Change it. Fix it. It's one of those things where the life is too short for it. Now we're going to go back to the bucket again. Think well of yourself. Promise to think well of yourself and proclaim the fact that to the world, that not in loud word, but in great deeds. Don't tell people how great you are. Nobody cares. Show them. Show them how wonderful you are. Hold yourself in high regard no matter what anybody says, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter what errors of judgment you've made. This past week, I just started school again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was all part of faculty orientation and in-service, where teachers have the new training for the new year. here. And one of the things we talked about is the definition of dignity. Dignity comes from the Latin word dignitas, which means inherent worth. So dignity has to do with your inherent worth as a human being. Has nothing to do with mistakes you've made. Has nothing to do with the friendships you've had or lost, the jobs you've held, the car you drive, the house you live in, the clothes you wear. Nothing. You could be wearing a canvas bag sitting under a freeway, and you would have the same dignity as the President of the United States. Has nothing to do with income, has nothing to do with social job status. It has to do with inherent worth as a human being. And that's what we teach our students at my school. You are a human being first, before everything. Before sexual orientation, before color, before race, before creed, before clothing, before income, before everything. You are a human being first. That's what I'm talking about. So when somebody says, I'm gay and no! You're a human being. I'm the first this, or I'm the first that. No, you're a human being. Always keep that in mind. Keep that dignity of the human condition in mind. Always. Because it will also help you see the good in other people. Again, bucket. It's all about that. And finally, promise yourself to live in the faith that the whole world is on your side. Be true to yourself. Always think that everybody's on your side. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. You'd be surprised at how well things turned out. When Ronald Reagan first became president back in 1981, that's right? That 80 election, January 81, yeah. When he first became president in 81, his son, Ronald Reagan Jr., I think he was in high school at the time. And he sat with his dad in the executive limo, bulletproof car and everything. And there were people outside who were cheering him on. There were other people who were angry with him. And one of the big things that President Reagan used to like to do is he'd shake people's hand and give them a thumbs up. Well, he was in the car, just about ready to leave, and he says, this is going to become a popular thing, I promise you, told his son. And somebody came up and banged on the window and yelled some unkind words and flipped him the bird. And you know what Ronald Reagan did, the president? He turned to his son and said, see, it's starting to catch on already. Think the best of everybody. Because you know what it does? When somebody is truly trying to be unkind to you, it takes the wind out of their sails. It takes the emphasis off of their unkindness, their meanness. Sometimes people aren't aware, sometimes they are. If you always assume that a person has the best intentions at heart, regardless of what they say or do, I mean, if they're coming at you with an axe, run. But, for the most part, if they are saying something that may be unkind, just assume they don't know any better. Assume that they have the best intentions at heart. I saw a movie a long time ago. I forget what it was. This man married a woman. I think it was a Steve Martin movie. And he married this woman who was absolutely awful. And these people came out of their house. They were staff. It was a big mansion. And she says, who are those people? And she used some awful word, just a profanity to express it. But instead, he says, he was referring to the flowers, and he goes, oh no, honey, those are azaleas. Referring to the flowers in the garden, completely ignoring the fact that she was talking about the people coming out of the house. Always think the best of everybody. Flip the script. When you completely ignore the bad can't hurt you. Because that's what gives it power. Your reaction to it gives it power. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, you cannot feel belittled, or you cannot be insulted without a person cannot insult you without your permission. You have to negatively react to it in order for their insult to take hold. If you do like Ronald Reagan did, see, it's catching on already. It goes nowhere. It stops right there. Takes the wind out of the sail. It sinks the grumpy ship. I promise myself. Together?
I promise myself.
Oh, come on. It sounds like we're here at 7 o'clock in the morning. I promise myself
I promise myself
to be my true self.
to be my true self.
To always think the best of others. Together? To always think the best of others. And throw fear in the garbage.
And throw fear in the garbage.
Amen?
Amen.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. I'm going to go back over here. I'll leave this on, Mary. All right. I'm going to go back over this direction. My goodness. I said that word at the very end for a specific reason.